Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're going to be having a little bit of a look at a new Tangrowth card. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a new Tangrowth. And this one could be kind of fun. Shout out to the lovely Joe from Cerebi.net who did provide our translation for this lovely card. And if we start off looking at the basics, we like 130 HP. 130 HP means that Zoroark and Buzzwole won't be getting one-hit KOs easily, which is nice. 130 HP is the right side of that line. Retreat cost of freeze sucks because you don't get to use buff padding, which is really annoying. Would give you some extra HP. And weakness to fire should be bad because of Blacephalon, but honestly, I mean, it's not going to make a huge difference. That's a big boy. As for the grass typing, I mean, look, you got some healing options. You got Shaman from Lost Thunder. You've got Life Forest Prism Star, which can heal you up quite nicely. And that's, of course, before we start talking about stuff like Lurantis, which can let you do a bit of extra damage. And then, of course, you're hitting weakness against stuff like Lycanroc GX, for instance. So, quite frankly, not too bad. I should actually mention you're hitting weakness on Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX, which might be, if not more relevant, certainly also relevant. So what does it actually do? Well, the first attack for 1 grass energy does 30 damage, and the defending Pokemon cannot retreat during your opponent's next turn. 30 damage stops them retreating. This can be absolutely huge. You can stick stuff in the active and stop them getting out of the active and really take advantage of this. You can slow them right down. Now, we all know that free retreating Pokemon are good. Playing something like a Tapu Koko, yeah, you've got Flying Flip, and Flying Flip is good, but let's not sleep on the fact that you get free retreat. And free retreat is, frankly, pretty gosh darned awesome. It's a handy bonus of playing that card. I mean, White Kyurem decks, for instance, they really rely on having Arceus Prism Star in the early game to accelerate a bit of energy, but you've got to have a Lightning and a Grass Pokemon on the field in order to use the attack. So we use the Tapu Koko, which has got free retreat and is a lightning Pokemon, and then we use Pheromosa, which has free retreat and is a grass Pokemon. Lovely. You really mess them around if you start using this attack, and this adds up fairly quickly. It might only be 30 damage a turn, but it's not really 30 damage a turn, not in the format we're in at the moment. We've got too many damage modifiers. So you add a choice band and that 30 becomes 60 fairly quickly. And then if you're hitting for weakness, that 60 becomes 120 pretty gosh darn quickly. And then, of course, you're a non-GX, so you start bringing in Shrine of Punishment. And then there's 1 damage counter going on each of their EXs and GXs between turns. And an attack like this, in conjunction with Shrine of Punishment, it's not just about the active Pokemon. Because what you're doing is saying to your opponent, I'm stealing your turn, essentially. I am making it so that you're not able to do very much during your turn. Yeah, you can play all your trainer cards, but you can't attack. So you're essentially wasting a turn. Which means 1 damage counter on their active, sure. But it also means 1 damage counter on all of their other GXs and EXs on the field. And this could actually add up extremely quickly and give you a rather large advantage. You know, let's say they've got 4 GXs on the field. That's 4 damage counters total after your turn. They're not able to retreat. And then it's 4 damage counters after their turn. And that's kind of the point of this. If you're using this attack to try and smash and do lots of damage, it's not going to end well. But if you're using this attack to steal some turns, to slow them down, to get set up, and then to spread a bunch of damage around using stuff like Shrine of Punishment, while doing a little bit of damage to the active just as a little bit of a bonus, now, ladies and gentlemen, now we are absolutely rolling. Now, we should also circle back here to the Lurantis promo. That means you do an extra 20 damage on your attacks, which is quite nice. And with a choice band and 4 Lurantis promo, yay! You're actually doing 140. 30 base, 30 for the choice band, 80 for the Lurantis. 140, plus your Shrine of Punishment, etc. So that's quite nice, but again, you can do it. I mean, using a Leafeon GX is a good way to evolve all of your grass Pokemon straight away using a GX attack, and of course you do evolve from the Energy Evolution Eevee, so you can get it out nice and quickly there. It's fine, but again, we just end up in a situation of it's not enough damage. So this first attack, I think you've got to use it right. Damage and smashing, no. Giving yourself some time to get set up. I mean, let's say you're playing something like Decidueye. Great grass Pokemon, but it's a stage 2. Now this with Decidueye, I could see. Because now they can't retreat. And so they're stuck for a turn. And initially that gives you time to get Decidueye out. And then every time they don't retreat, each of your Decidueyes gets to do 2 damage without any repercussions. And if you can get some Decidueye rolling with Shrine of Punishment, you can wreck their board before they've even had a chance to do much. Now, we do have to go back to the point we always mention with stuff like this. Yes, obviously, Ace Roller and Guzma are played in a lot of decks. Yes, Ace Roller and Guzma will get around this. But your opponent's only playing so many Ace Roller and Guzma. And if they're playing stuff like Escape Rope and Switch, fine, that's annoying. It's going to happen sometimes. They are going to have turns they can get out of this. But they're going to have turns where they can't. And if we're looking at this, I've got to give a shout out to the Hypno from Full Metal Wall, which we did do a video about just the other day, that says that when you take a KO on your opponent's Pokemon, flip a coin. If heads, you get to drag one of their Pokemon active. You get to choose their new active Pokemon. Imagine having a couple of Decidueye on the field, being able to stop them retreat, and then taking a mid-turn KO with Decidueye, and then being able to choose what you drag active and stick in the active. There is a lot of fun to be had there. Now, as for the second attack, this one is a bit more of a smashy attack. 3 colorless energy, 90 damage. If this Pokemon has any grass energy attached, heal 60 damage. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. There are things I like about this, of course, but I'm not sure how good I feel about this particular attack. So if we start off looking at the energy cost is great. It's colorless energy, so you can use double colorless energy. You can stick it in a Malamar deck. You can use Kiawe. This essentially gives you a grass-type attacker regardless of what energy you're actually playing. This is wonderful and lovely and good. If you're up against something like a Lycanroc, with a Choice Band you get the one-hit KO, yay. But against a Magikarp and Wailord, even with a Choice Band, and this sounds ridiculous saying it out loud, you're only doing 240. Which isn't that close. You're still 60 away from getting a Magikarp and Wailord, which is a slight problem. But against pretty much anything else, you're doing enough damage. So, with colorless energy, you can essentially, if you're hitting for weakness, get a one-hit KO on anything, and get a 2-hit KO on almost anything. With Shrine of Punishment and Choice Band, you're essentially doing 260 over 2 turns, 270 after yours, so it really is just Magikarp and Wailord, except you actually are 2-hit KOing them. So you're basically 2-hit KOing everything here. Although we do need Choice Band and Shrine of Punishment, which can be a bit of a pain. What about the healing here? We need more HP. Because the thing is, this could be a tank Pokemon. I've already mentioned Life Forest Prism Star. I've already mentioned Shaman from Lost Thunder. These are really nice cards which can heal you up really nicely. Then imagine that you're healing 60 damage every time you attack, and you're absolutely rolling. Now, incidentally, you only heal if you've got the 2 grass energy attached. So if you do use something like Malamar, Kiawe, even double colorless energy, you're not going to be able to get the healing here, which is a bit of a pain. So you're probably not going to have 2 grass energy on there. And even if you do, you got 130 HP, and I don't think 130 HP is enough for a healing deck, even against something like Zoroark. Let's for a minute imagine they're not playing either Devoured Field or Professor Kukui, and if they are, they're not able to find them. They can still just KO you the next turn. They're not getting a one-hit KO. You go from 10 HP remaining to 70 HP remaining, they get a KO anyway. I don't think you've got enough HP. I don't think you heal enough damage. And I think the attack cost, if you want the healing, is a bit of a pain. Boo, hiss, etc. But I do very much like the first attack. The fact that it's for 1 energy, the fact that you stop them retreating, the fact you do a bunch of damage, and if you combine this with stuff like Shrine of Punishment and Decidui, even 1 turn sticking them in the active can really be the difference between winning the game and not winning the game. So I'm going to be going ahead and giving this 3 Wassies. It's not a powerhouse deck, I don't think. I don't think it's going to take over the format, but I do think there is a lot of potential here to have a lot of fun. And I do think that in some decks where you're doing extra damage in other places, this could be fun. But I would very much like to know what you think about this, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember the most important rule as always. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays. We've passed 4,000 subscribers, which for Wassie Plays is a heck of a milestone, and I'm delighted. Thank you to all of you that are already subscribed. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.